I'm here again. I'm here now. In the old room. In the old house. But and you're here as well. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. The last few days. I mean, I can't tell you what happened the last few days, honestly. It's like I do these reviews, or I think I do these reviews, and I black out, and I wake up and I'm in like a whole other place, or it's a whole other time, or I don't understand it. Gosh. Well, and here, yeah, here it is. Number 249, Battle of Algiers. Gio Pontecorvo, La Battaglia de Algiers. And I'm here to do it, and it's like I did it, and I barely remember watching it. It's like I black out while watching these, or I don't know when this started and when it's gonna end. I remember uploading the Videodrome review. That should be up on this channel. And then I just lost track of time and space and everything. And now I'm here. I don't understand what's going on, guys. I don't. I don't. This whole new flesh thing is just really getting to me. Am I going crazy, or did I really kill myself? I don't know. Anyway. Let's do this. Battle of Algiers. Very, very long movie. The movie's not very long, but the supplements. There's 3 discs. Unlike The Leopard, it wasn't like there's a lot to watch. You could watch it. We had to watch everything on this. 121 minutes, 1966, black and white, monaural, French and Arabic. And it's based on a real life event. It's I'll try to I'm not going to say much about it because I can't remember a lot about it, but also there's just not much to say. It's something that's a little more, you have to watch it for yourself kind of thing. It's not like there's a basic plot. It's basically, it was about, I guess, 1940s, 50s, French, like after the war, French took up occupation in Algiers, and during the mid-50s, a war broke out. A 7-year war broke out between the French and the Algerian people, where the Algerian people fought back to reclaim their country, and France wasn't having any of it. And so there was just a lot of blood and devastation. In the words of Monty Python, death, war, and horror. And in this movie, we sort of follow one man, Ali Lapointe or something like that, who becomes involved with this force, the FLN, this Liberation Front thing person, and he meets these people, and basically, they start this group that, tries to battle the French. We see, everybody gets involved. Children, these children shoot these soldiers in the back, or like right in their face, and these women dress up as French women and disguise themselves with French clothes and French hair, and go into town to meet with technicians who are building bombs. And they leave in their purses, and they leave in these restaurants and cafes and dance halls, and to fight. And and then it just becomes a war. And we also meet the general, whose name, um, Lieutenant Colonel Matteo, or something like that. And he's, the head who tries to take down the Algerian people. And in the end, it kind of ends with I think the death of Ali. But then we also we jump forward to the end of the war, where France finally pulled out of Algiers, and the Algerian people got back their country in 1962. And that's all I can really say about it. It's a very dark movie. It's like Hearts and Minds. It was very much like Hearts and Minds in the documentary. It was shot in a documentary sense, and although it was a work of fiction, obviously, it was based on real people. In fact, one of the people who was interviewed extensively throughout this film, throughout the supplements, whose name I can't remember. What's his name? Sadi Yassef. And he plays like the head commander of the FLN, and he was actually the head commander in real life. He fought in the war, and so it's kind of interesting that Pontecorvo brought him into the movie, I guess for more real life things. I don't know, but anyway, I don't know what else to say really. It's very scary. It's still relevant today. I mean, with everything that's been going on in the world today, this movie is very, very relevant. And it's very scary to think that this could happen again. I mean, I don't know, in Israel and all the Islamic countries, and with ISIS and ISIL, these terrorist groups, it's. I mean, it kind of is happening with all the bombings that have been happening, but at the same time, I mean, it's a little different. I mean, I'd like to think that this was a little different. I mean, it's not like we are. I mean, no, I don't think. I mean, I don't know a lot about this war that's going on in the Middle East right now, but it just, the fact that people are dying and people are being bombed, it's obviously that's happening today still, So it's just, I mean, it's a movie that's very relevant because it's a movie that shows what can happen when terror strikes, basically. I don't really have any, I'm not going to say anything else. It's a movie that you just have to watch to understand better. I can give this, I was going to give this a lower rating, but to be honest, I mean, it does because of the fact that it is based on a real life event, and it tells its story. I mean, just obviously it's a work of fiction, but a lot like the bombing and torture. The French tortured these people, and it doesn't take one side. I think Pontecorvo, said that he did not want to take the side of the French or the Algerian people, because they were both destructive. I mean, they were destructive toward both people. I'm going to give this an A. I'm going to give it an A. It's a good movie. It's not one that I personally am going to pick up, partly, because it's just hard to watch. I think for some reason, Hearts and Minds, I did not enjoy watching Hearts and Minds, but I enjoyed the fact that it exists, because it's a real documentary. This is a fake documentary of sorts, you know. And this is nothing against Pontecorvo, you know, making a fake documentary. I mean, he wanted to make it look like newsreels, you know, using shooting in black and white, even though it was done in '66. By this time, color was, you know, the norm. But he wanted to make it look like newsreels, and, you know, had a very guerrilla style, you know, camera style and all that. So I give it to him. I give props to him for that. Pontecorvo does not come off as like a weird director in his interviews. You know, he's just a guy who just has a story to tell and, you know, wants to tell it. But at the same time, he seems like a very kind of a perfectionist. The word perfectionist was thrown around in the supplements, and he didn't make a lot of movies because of this. He came up with a lot of movies, but he never got around to shooting them. And I think he died 2006, I think. So yeah, so it wasn't too long ago. But yeah. So anyway, let's get this over with. Yeah, Battle of Algiers. Good movie. But a shitload of supplements. Fuck. On disc 1, the only other thing is the trailers, the original trailer, and then the Rialto Pictures re-release. And disc 2 is subtitled Pontecorvo in the Film, which is more about Pontecorvo in the making. There's a documentary, Gilo Pontecorvo, The Dictatorship of Truth, which is a documentary that mostly talks about his life and his, you know, making his history, making movies. And it was made back in the 90s, so he was still alive. I think it was like done in 92 maybe. And then Marxist Poetry, The Making of the Battle of Algiers, which is a new documentary that Criterion produced. Features everyone alive at the time. This pressing was done in 2004, but the movie originally came out back in 2004. This pressing was done in 2013. But the original movie, the original Criterion, came out in 2004. So at the time, Pontecorvo was alive, so they got him to interview. They interviewed Marcello Gatti, who's the director of photography. And they also interviewed Ennio Morricone, who did the theme, along with Pontecorvo. I guess they both composed the music together, which is kind of cool when the director wants to have a hand in the music. You know, just it's about an hour long. Talks about the making of, you know, all the shots and things like that. What else? There's a little mini featurette, 17-minute featurette featuring 5 different directors and how Battle of Algiers influenced their own movies. Spike Lee, Mironar, Julianne Schnabel, Steven Soderbergh, and Oliver Stone. And it talks about, you know, just how each movie, you know, how they thought it was really, really important. Spike Lee was more interested in the revolutionary aspects of the movie, as we can tell in obviously movies that we've seen, like Do the Right Thing. And Steven Soderbergh said that he, you know, referred to it many a time when making Traffic. So it was really, you know, really interesting to see just how, you know, this movie really influenced different directors. Disc 3 is the disc that you want if you want to know more about the history, the actual history of this war. The first part is Remembering History, a documentary on the Algerian experience of the battle for independence. And yeah, it's just basically just a documentary about the real life thing. Etas de Armins, a documentary excerpt, half-hour excerpt featuring senior French. It's more about the torture aspects of the war. There's an interview with a guy who lost his eye in the torture, and he talks about certain aspects, but he doesn't want to reveal a lot. At one point, I think he actually lets a detail slip, and he kind of, you know, hates himself for doing it, and it's kind of just like, wow, this is kind of like, you know, kind of interesting. There's a 24-minute case study talking about featuring these U.S. counterterrorism experts talking about the torture aspects in Battle of Algiers. And finally, there's an hour-long documentary called. There is a documentary that Pontecorvo did back in the 90s called "A Return to Algiers," which showed him going back to Algiers at the time, back then, and interviewing people. A lot of people don't want him there. You can see that a lot of people, want the, shun Western media. You're not realizing that he's not trying to get some kind of scoop. He's just, not realizing that he made this movie about them back in the 60s. A lot of people still just, a lot of people are using, but at the same time, a lot of people really, enjoy. You can see him walking the streets and, shaking the hands of people and meeting people who really felt that the Battle of Algiers spoke to their lives. And also you can see that a lot of people want the camera so that they can show how miserable their living situation, their living conditions are. They show, rotting walls and leaking walls and ceilings that are broken, and just a lot of families who just don't want Pontecorvo around, even though he means no harm. And they're interspliced between with an interview that he did for Italian TV. It's kind of just him kind of commentating on the documentary that he did. And yeah, that's about it. It's a long one. I just don't know what happened. I say it took a long time, but maybe it took no time at all. But with 3 discs, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going on. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'm gonna go hold of myself, because I want to be okay for the next few movies. Because up next we've got the John Cassavetes box set, which I've been looking forward to, and I hope to look forward to it. I hope that. Oh gosh. But anyway, yeah, Battle of Algiers. Watch it if you're into this. But yeah, so next is Shadows. Those are the only 2 that were sitting here. I don't know where the others are. Maybe they're back at my new place. I don't know, but I need to get back there. And I hope I can. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I hope to do this on Wednesday. I hope that, because of our schedule and the way things have been going, we're gonna probably have to do this in Faces on Wednesday. Or, yeah, probably that. That'll probably be the easiest one, because we have to get back in this schedule, just because of how things are turning out. I don't want to do a Concept Forge before I go back to work next Tuesday. I want to have this whole box set done before the break is over. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, so anyway, gosh, that's it for me. Thank you for hanging in there. Battle of Algiers, I don't have any morals for this one. It stands on its own, and it is what it is, basically. The basic one, don't kill each other and just, try to love. Because in the end, maybe that's the only thing that'll help us, just getting through this, and to love each other. Just try to understand each other, too. Be patient with each other, and patience and understanding. That's love, patience, and understanding. Let's do this. Even today. Especially today. Let's just try to understand each other, because there are a lot of us out there who we're not understanding, and we need to, because they have a story to tell as well. Anyway, I'm sorry if I sound a little preachy, but I don't know. This movie kind of spoke just a bit. Anyway, yeah, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and we will see you hopefully Wednesday for Shadows, the first part in the John Cassavetes 5-film box set. And until then, wish me luck.